I will share with you a few thoughts, a little talk about how a Japanese service company ended up doing blockchain in Belgium. So it all started a long time ago, actually 2018, when the Blockchain Innovation Center was established, was opened in Anderlecht in Belgium. And I remember that very well, those days. I was working at KBC then, and we were really surprised to see this all of a sudden pop up. I assume there was a little bit of a trajectory before to get the permission, the approvals, to get everything done. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, 2018, it was there. And it also got a lot of press coverage. I picked this one because it has quite a Belgium header, and you also rarely see the words Japanese and giant in the same sentence. But it was all over the place, and it was a surprise, but really nice. 2018, that's already quite some time ago. Back in the days, it was a one-man band. It was Frederik who was running the business. Today we have a few more people on board. Luckily, we can almost fill a bus. We're close to 50 people now, and we just keep growing, which is a really nice thing. The team is not all localized in Belgium. I have to be honest there. We're truly decentralized, like a blockchain and a team probably should be. We have research labs in Japan, for example, but we have also people working from Africa, from Asia, a little bit from all over the place, which is truly nice. It brings a really diverse atmosphere and public to each other in this blockchain team. And it also reflects in the capabilities that we have, because diversity is also in the breadth of knowledge that we can bring. And that's where we really want to bring differentiators too. It's not only the building part. Yes, we have developers, we have Scrum Masters, we have all the things ready to build solutions steered from within Belgium, in Belgium, but we also go way beyond just the development. And I will give you a few examples later on. We will provide legal advice if required. We will analyze your business model. We will bring you in touch with customers of ours if that's a handy thing to do. And it's just really something that drives us from very deep to go beyond, to have a real close contact with those customers and to deliver more than just a blockchain solution. And for that, luckily, we have the skills on board. These skills are also recognized by the market meanwhile. We had a few recognitions in the past, but last year it came from all sides. Forbes put us in the list of the 50 blockchain companies to talk to. Gartner refers to us quite often. We are also active in media. We have published articles. We are on stages like this, but also on other events to talk about the things we do and how we can help companies realizing their blockchain aspirations and ambitions. So that's all very nice, but as we are a Japanese company, we are driven by purpose. And having worked at several employers in the past, I can guarantee it's truly deeply embedded, ingrained in the things we do. It's really, really purpose-driven, and I will show it with 2 examples what that means to us. The first case, the first project we're working on is called Botanical Water Technologies. It's a UK company with strong ties to Australia and a project running at the moment in the US. You understand, booking meetings with them is like a horror scenario at the moment. But apart from that, they have a great technology on board. What they have is a container, a standard shipping container, so it can be moved around, with equipment to capture water from an evaporization process. And that's what happens when fruit or vegetables are squeezed together to get juice or sugar out of it. Today, that water is considered waste water. That's 3 trillion liter water every year gone. It's a lot. I don't know if it will help, but it is 1 million Olympic swimming pools. That's also a lot, but it's just an amazing amount of water that is gone. And they have this technology that they can plug into a supply chain to capture the water and then upcycle it to drinkable water called Aqua Botanical. In Australia, you can buy it in the supermarket, or upcycle to an ingredient water, then you can reuse the water, or it is turned into water credits, and then a company can buy those credits to offset their own water use, and the water is given back to nature. Now, what we are building for them is the exchange. We have supply and demand. We have people that are companies that are producing the water. We have companies that want to buy the water. And by connecting supply and demand on the blockchain, we first of all exchange all the necessary documents. You know exactly which water you're buying. 170 sensors are registering what's happening in those containers. And that's all put on the blockchain, so you know what will arrive at your place. And we also aim to limit the transport to less than 200 kilometers using supply and demand and booking those things up front. Another thing we're building with them is a foundation. As a part of the profit will go to a foundation, and there, through microfinance, we aim to help people in water-stressed regions all over the world. It's also a solution built on blockchain that we are developing for them. But next to that, like I said, we go beyond. We also work with them to check their terms and conditions. We help them to build a business model, a profit model. We bring them in touch with our customers. I think Frederick is having a chat with Mr. Terry Paul almost every day. We're really deeply involved with what they do, and it goes to our heart to make it work. Last interview they did was on CNN. We were also part of it. It's really a nice purpose-driven company to work for. And like I said, we go beyond just the development. The second use case is a little bit closer by. It's a Dutch scale-up called TextRacer, and they aim to bring the entire supply chain around textiles to people in a more transparent way. And as we have seen with H&M, that is not a crazy thing to do, because it's easy to make a claim. It's a bit tougher to actually add evidence. And that is what is done on this blockchain solution. It's a non-intrusive blockchain. It's not replacing anything. It is put underneath what exists already today. And it's also low-tech, because some of these people, some of these suppliers, wherever they are sometimes illiterate. And what they do is upload a picture with a timestamp, with GPS coordinates of their crop, and then we know a new chain has started, a new clothing can be made. Also there we go beyond just the development. We provide them with services, with advisory services on business modeling, on strategy. We have clothing from them in a makeup shop in a Fujitsu office in Sweden. So we just try to get a little bit more involved than building the solution. If you want to see how it works, I also have a QR code. If you scan it, you will see the blockchain trail of, if I remember well, a children headband. We'll give you just a few seconds and some room to scan it. It takes a while to load. It's a blockchain, as you know. It's not going immediately, but rather fast. But we are here to talk about Belgium projects, about things that happen in Belgium with Belgian people. And I do know that the previous ones do not really fit into that category, despite the fact that we are running them from Belgium. But we do more than that. We also work for Belgian companies. Of course, there are a few names I can't disclose yet. I don't know if Willem is here, but not yet Willem. But we do work for other companies already concerning tokenization, for example. That company is called Fraction, and it's a Belgian company. I think they run out of Antwerp. And what they do is, or what their ambition is, to tokenize, to fractionalize valuable assets. Basically, they want to democratize access to things that cost a lot of money, like real estate. And if you look at real estate, it's quite a problematic situation. Accessibility is low. You really need a lot of money to buy real estate. And then once you have it, you're stuck with it. Yay, happy days. There you are. It's rather illiquid. You can't trade it with anyone. You have to go to a notary to sell it. Then there is some added complexity. There is regulations, laws. You have to follow up all these things. If you want to buy stuff abroad, it even becomes worse. It's not an easy thing to manage, this real estate. And they developed a solution to, as I said, democratize that asset. Just, and I'm a real fan of wildlife, but to kill the elephant in the room, it has nothing to do with crypto. They don't break the law. It's under scrutiny of financial authorities. What they aim to do is build a better solution using blockchain technology within the scope of the law to tackle the problems they have perceived. And that's what they did. So how does it work? On this blockchain, you make a digital twin of the real estate asset. And then once you have this token, you can start chopping it up into little pieces. They're called fractions. And then you can buy a fraction of a real estate property, which means that for new entrants, you don't have to pay the entire value of the real estate. You can step in at a lower amount. And if you're an incumbent player, if you have already a lot of assets, you can start to diversify your portfolio. It's not just one apartment, it's perhaps 10 pieces of 10 apartments, which is also a smart thing to do then. And once you buy this asset, it comes in your wallet, becomes literally your property, your fraction, and then you can start to exchange it on a marketplace. You can offer it for sale, you can buy fraction tokens there. What are we doing there? Of course, building the solution, like I said, but we also go beyond just the build phase. We engage deeply with Sasha and Ben to talk about other things, about advisory services again, risk assessments, business modeling, use case assessment, and also their roadmap. How will it go further? What else can they do? Really engaging to have those talks with Belgium customers. It can go in Dutch, which is always handy. Now, talking about the roadmap, this is one of my favorite slides, to be honest. I really love the steamroller. You're either the steamroller or the road. Sorry, there was a little frog in my throat. And the point is that these blockchain solutions, they are alive. Even here in Belgium, as we see today, things are being built, we have knowledge, and there are two things to do. Sit it out, sweat it out, and wait until you have to do something because it exists, or try to understand it yourself, see how you can contribute to an ecosystem, and start building. And that's a choice between the steamroller or the road. We hope quite a few will be steamroller. You won't be the first in Belgium, which is in Belgium context always good to know. You won't take the entire risk. Other people already did this, other people will follow. You will be safe. Feel free to contact us for co-creation. We can figure out how your business works. We can see how blockchain can add value. We can go beyond just to build, to explore use cases, to seek out how the ecosystem looks like, how things can be done differently. And if you're not really that into co-creation, perhaps, or you should most likely be very interested in ESG. And that's a new idea we are developing, and I hope it's okay to show the slide. But we have this idea to build an ESG data platform that doesn't hoard the data, but that leaves the data at the edges, and that provides evidence of the existence of this data, connects the dots basically, and then provides the necessary insight. Insight, where do we come from? Insight, where are we today? And foresight, where should we be going to support the tools that already exist and that usually focus on reporting, and everybody should give us all your data. We don't think that is a feasible model going forward, given the new regulations that are upcoming, given the financial and the non-financial reporting that are meant to unite into financial reporting, and where other companies, on a summit where I was last week, we had a lot of confirmation that blockchain is actually seen as a solution there. So if you want to join us here in this journey to figure out how co-creation works, to see how we can co-create with you a solution that also works in your industry, please do reach out. Fujitsu is an innovation-driven company. We aim to make the world more sustainable, and that's what we do with a lot of passion. So if you want to have a chat, please feel free to come contact us outside. We're there with quite a few people, and that's it. Thank you.